If you guys have ever wanted to buy Pokemon cards like this, or this, and this guy, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to buy, sell, and the top 5 Pokemon cards I am investing in for 2025. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Ask any questions down in the comments, but let's get into how to buy and sell Pokemon cards for 2025. Now, to keep this video from being an hour long or even longer than an hour, we're going to cut right into it, and this is going to be where to buy Pokemon cards at. And for me, I like to stick to 3 lanes of Pokemon product. That is singles, slabs, and sealed product. Now, you can get into arts and crafts, accessories, apparel, whatever it may be. There is definitely an opportunity for business out there, especially at shows. However, that's just not something I do, so I want to stick to these 3 categories of product for this video. And it's just because I've learned this throughout my time of doing this for a little over a year now. Now, shows is probably my favorite place to source cards at or source product at because you get a ton of conversation, and I'm somebody who likes to build a lot of social media content to have set aside so that I can post a ton of social media content. I love carrying my camera around. It seems like a lot of people enjoy that as well. They love being on video. It just shows a story behind it. So you can see the growth, you can see the potential. There's a ton to it. However, you can't always have a show, or you can't always attend every show. So that's why I throw Whatnots or any other marketplace that's online in this where you can buy them from. And it might seem a little like, oh yeah, no duh. But the reason for this is because there's opportunity. You just have to look. If you take your time and you give yourself an hour or 2 hours a week to really scroll through there and find sealed product, find somebody auctioning singles, find somebody auctioning slabs, find somebody selling the product on these different marketplaces. Maybe on Facebook you can shoot offers, eBay you can shoot offers, all of these things. There's going to be an opportunity, and you can take that and you can make small margins, or you can make high quantity purchases to make those high volume sales, and that's going to present itself the ability for you to make a business out of this and create that market. So if you are looking to buy, those 5 places, including Instagram, because if you start building a social media, you will immediately notice that your network will grow. You'll have conversations, you'll meet people, you might even get into distribution, which is just a whole other game, but it is something you can get into. There's a ton of it, but you can really use all of these sourcing materials or sourcing websites to get cards, and there is opportunity. You just have to dig enough. Now, you've gotten to the selling part. This is probably the best part because you're going to either see a return on investment or you're going to see those losses. So you got to go into this open-minded. However, there are 3 categories that for me, this is how I'm selling my cards in 2025. I could plug, a ton of different ways to do this, but this is how I'm going to do it, and I think a lot of people should do it. Now, number 1 is selling at shows. You can always be a vendor. You can always find your local shows. There's a ton of them around the country. There's probably one every single weekend near you if you just look hard enough, and that's something you can do on Facebook, Instagram, all your socials. Check it out. It's a ton of fun. You're going to build a ton of relationships. You have that ability to buy, sell, and trade on the other side of the table. You know what margins you can buy at, what percentages you can buy at, and then you're able to flip those cards. And even if you're making 10, 15, or even 20%, that is a win in this hobby. Those are the small margins that you want to look for. And if you do that again and again and again, the volume will speak for itself and you will see your business grow. So that's the number 1. You always, always, always got to be able to set up as a vendor if you can, and if you have the time to do it. Number 2 is going to be on social media. You can pretty much pick any social media, but you have to be consistent with it and you have to grow. This is where I'm pretty much dead serious about this, but if you are not somebody who is consistent and not somebody willing to take the time to make the content, to make the post, to be out there, it's going to be really hard to grow. And that's me being 100% honest with you. The more you post, the more you share. You don't even have to show your face. You can run an entire faceless account. Just make a name and grow it. And you're going to be recognizable. You're going to have people that can vouch for you. You're going to grow a community. You're going to make networks. It's just so much things that are important for this. And I can't recommend enough that you stick to a social media platform and you grow the heck out of it. And please be consistent. I'm telling you, it's going to be slow to start, but man, when it starts to take off and you start doing business with it, you're going to think to yourself, this is what I want to do every single day, and I'll post as many times as it takes because it's the truth. And if you can grow your social media on here, you will be successful. It's just going to take time, but you have to be consistent. And the third way to sell Pokemon cards in 2025, which is going to be at the top of my priority list, is live selling, specifically on Whatnot. Whatnot is the largest live streaming platform to where you can go and buy and sell Pokemon cards from the comfort of your home. There is no Pokemon product that I have yet to see that isn't for sale on Whatnot. This includes accessories, sealed products, slabs, singles, everything we pretty much talked about in this video. It is for sale on Whatnot. And there's going to be 2 links down in the description of this video that you can use to either sign up and follow me, and it's going to give you $15 in credit that you can use on any purchase that you would like on Whatnot to start sourcing cards, as well as there is going to be a seller link down there that you can actually use to sign up. They'll put you in a class, you'll learn a lot about Whatnot, and then you potentially could become a seller on the platform. Live streaming is the future. It's just period, right? Like it really is. I mean, it's even in video games, it's even in entertainment, and now it's in Pokemon selling. And the reason for this is because of the volume you're able to move and the speed you're able to move it at. I have yet to find a person who can sell thousands and thousands and thousands of cards at one singular show. But you can actually do that from the comfort of your home. And that's why I think it's so important to do this. You're able to get yourself out there. You can even turn on the face cam now. People are going to start to know you. This is where your socials come into play because you're going to be able to kind of transition that over into the Whatnot platform. It's still a social media. It's still a name that you can match to those other socials accounts, and you can start linking them. You can start cross posting on them. Like, there's so many things you can do with this, and you can also use all 3 of those different ideas of products to rip packs, sell singles, sell slabs, and anything else that you can get so creative. That's what's cool about it. But I'm telling you, you will never find the amount of volume you're able to move on Whatnot anywhere else. And that's what's so cool about it. And that's what's so important from a business standpoint, because you want to be able to move product as soon as you get the product in. And I'm telling you, yes, it looks cool on your shelf. Trust me, there's thousands and thousands of Pokemon cards that I have seen through my hands over the course of this past year that I wanted to keep. But I've just decided, you know what, I'm trying to do this as a business as well as a PC and hobby. So you just have to learn to move cards really, really fast, high volume, and you're going to love it. So yeah, check out Whatnot. I'm telling you, it's a ton of fun. But now it's time for what cards I'm buying for 2025. This is going to be the cards that I am very, very heavy on. I do own a few of the products, but some of them I do not own yet. I do plan on picking them up and holding them till the end of the year, as soon as the holidays kind of simmer down and prices kind of come down just a tiny bit. But these are going to be the top 5 products, cards, whatever you want to call it, related to Pokemon that I'm buying for this year. So starting it off, we have the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. This card is fantastic. Any card that has multiple Pokemon on it, which you can see all the little Pidgeys on here along with Squirtle, right? It always does better than a card with a singular Pokemon on it. Squirtle is a fan favorite. This card's beautiful. It's kind of cool because he's just chilling in a little pool. And you can kind of see the market behind it from October 5th to today's date. It's gone from around the $39 to $50. So it's up around the $10 to $15-ish, give or take, on TCG. I think it's a great card. I think if you can get it at a 10, it's fantastic. It's something that I'm going to kind of buy a few of, put to the side, grade maybe a bunch of them, and just see how it goes. So this is going to be the first card that I'm buying. But moving into the second product, that's Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike is a fantastic set. And mainly because of the Gengar, yes, but I think there's some really cool Mew cards in there too. And you can tell by this chart as well, from October to now, it has nearly doubled in price. It's a little crazy right now, so give that, bump with a grain of salt. But there's a ton of room left in this set. And that Gengar is at a high right now, like $1,200, and I actually don't think it's going to stop. If you look at that artwork and you look at the Moonbreon, I don't know. It's not very far off to me. I think it's an awesome thing to do because, one, sealed, it's really hard to lose on in the long run. So maybe this is more of a 5-year investment. However, it kind of goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of this video. You go back past a year and then you start buying those sets because those products typically have cards in it that people kind of undervalue, and then they kind of go back and they're like, oh, that's a pretty cool card. that's this. So you have the Gengar VMAX. You have a really cool Mew card. I believe the Espeon VMAX is in there. A lot of great cards, and that's what makes this set so important to buy. Now, number 3, and I am a very heavy investor in this card. That's going to be the Venusaur from 151. This card is the best card in 151. I have debated so many times about this on social media. It's the best card in 151. The Charizard card, kind of overrated. He is the size of a piece of rice. He is this big in that card. Not cool. I want a full Charizard card. And I guess you could kind of say that about this card. However, the Venusaur is way cooler looking than the Charizard card. The Blastoise is cool. The Triple Birds is cool. The Alakazam is cool. All those cards are cool. The promos are cool. This card is beautiful. That's what the difference is. And it has so many colors on it. It pops. It just looks insane, dude. And like, if you look at the market from October to now, it's gone up from $45 to $75. It's almost doubled in value. And I believe the PSA 10s are around the $250 to $270 range as of the current time I'm filming this video, which is January 2nd, 2025. I don't know, dude. Like, I think it's the best card. I think it looks the coolest. It has just so much pop to it. The eye appeal of this card, which if you've ever gone to sports cards and collected that stuff, eye appeal is a very big thing in that hobby, and that's kind of where I learned that from. This card has that eye appeal. Yes, it was printed a ton. Yes, it did have reprints. Those reprints are going to be done. They're going to be. And this card is going to reign supreme above that Charizard card one day. Maybe the value of it might not be, but the value of the Charizard is so high right now. That Charizard card is almost 4 of these. This is, you know what I mean? You could buy 3 of these, 10 of them, and it's more valuable than a Charizard from 151. And you have 3 10s, and it costs you less money to get into all 3 of those 10s than it does one Charizard that might not even 10. So think about that. But you can pretty much get one of these for a raw 151 Charizard too. Just saying, like that's kind of how I'm looking at it. But the eye appeal of this card, best card in 151, hands down. Sneaky card, Paldean Fates Gardevoir. I do have one right now. Beautiful. This card is fantastic. There is so much detail to it, but the colors are really unique. I really like the like baby bluish, almost reminds me of like the Bubble Mew in the colorways. You do have Wooper back there and Pachirisu, which is kind of cool. I believe that's what that is. I don't know. But anyways, I think this card is really, really cool. You can see the market of it rising too. From October 30th to now, it has gone from $37 to $58, nearly doubled. And it's beautiful. I'm buying all of them because this card is going to be, I would say, around the $300 range in a 10. I don't remember what this was doing in a 10 when I bought it, which was like 2 weeks ago. However, I think it's got a lot of room to grow. And number 1, this is going to be my favorite alt to pick up, my favorite big boy to pick up. I'm pretty much paying whenever I see it, almost that sticker at some points, because if you go anything off of that Fusion Gengar, Chilling Reign's got a lot of cool cards. And this card just so happens to be one of the cards that I am really heavy on. The Blaziken VMAX Alt Art is fantastic, and it has very similar qualities to that Gengar. The Pokemon is huge. You could say that about the Umbreon card too. The Pokemon is huge. This one obviously huge. The colors are fantastic. It looks really cool in a rainbow graded guard. So there's a little bit of appeal with that too, because these are really popular for people to collect. I don't know, dude. There's something about this card that it comes and goes in waves. And I think this year is going to be the year it finally takes over. So I'm really big into it. I'm, again, pretty much paying full comp. That's how confident I am. And I rarely do that. So there's a ton of room for it to grow. It does around the $235 right now. It's at around $500 in a PSA 10. So it's a 2x multiplier on grading. It's a really easy card to grade, actually, because of the colors of it. You can really, really tell exactly where that line is, and you can see exactly centering on it. Whitening's a little bit of a different challenge. However, centering is really, really easy to tell on these cards. So if you're going to pick any of those cards up, this is the most important one to me for 2025. But I think you can't go wrong with any of them. So those are going to be the 5 products / cards that I am buying for an investing standpoint from 2025 for Pokemon. Let me know what you guys are buying too down in the comments. Like, totally let me know. I think there's a ton of really cool cards out there. The Paladin Fates Charizard is another one I thought about throwing on here, but I think the 5 products I picked are a little bit better, especially that Fusion pretty much is already blowing up, so I might even be a little late to that. Ton of room for these cards, in my opinion. Now, could I be wrong? Yeah, maybe, but I'm still going to be buying them. So, but yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you kind of learned something from here and take anything I said and kind of actually try it. Buying cards, selling cards, investing in cards. It all comes with time. It all comes with learning. You just have to be willing to put that time in. Consistency is really key. Learning to source cards from those platforms that I talked about can be done, and it's very important. And trust me, I do them all the time, especially at shows and especially on marketplaces. Selling, you can sell on socials, you can sell at shows, or you can sell very high volume live streaming. Live streaming is the future, period. If you ever watch Gary Vee, he talks about it all the time. It is the future. You just have to make sure that you're learning how to do it and starting now. And then finally, investing in Pokemon. We all know how that goes. You never know what's going to happen. There's going to be a card that surprises everybody in 2025. But these are the 5 products and cards that I'm really high on. So hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to get kind of back into the normal videos here. Vendor POVs, buyer POVs, all that good stuff. But I think it's important to make these videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.